on cars over the Australian Grand Prix last weekend, and the tougher test on rear wings had already been introduced for the Melbourne race. An FIA statement said that after analyzing footage from cameras aimed at studying rear wing deformation, sufficient grounds exist for a tougher test to be introduced immediately. And this test will for the race in Shanghai, and it to actually limit the way some cars run past the others.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to Formula One, the wind helps you.
Yeah.
The rear wing helps you.
That's
and
where
everything,
aerodynamic study comes in. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it really feels good right now because they want a balanced ground for this one. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how possible that's going to be for many of these cars. But let's move on now from the tracks of Formula One to the courts of basketball. The NBA was alive last night. We saw games across board, 4 games rather. Just the Hornets losing to the Atlanta Hawks in that one, 134-102. The Celtics also beat the Nets 104-96. No Jason Tatum. No Jaylen Brown, but the Celtics still had to do business out there in that one. While the Warriors got the better of Milwaukee Bucks, and it's sad to see Milwaukee Bucks lose games now, this important stage of the season.
Seriously.
And the Warriors stepped up 104-93. No Steph Curry, no problem for the Golden State Warriors. And the Clippers finally stopped the Cavaliers, who went 16 games in the NBA without losing any, but they've lost now in their 17th matchup against the Clippers out there in LA. It finished 132-119, and surprising result if you ask me, because the Cavs have been so good. Well, let's tell you that NBA games will come your way tomorrow. The Pacers will play the Mavericks. The Magic will do battle with the Houston Rockets. Miami Heat will play Detroit Pistons. We have the San Antonio Spurs trade tackles with the New York Knicks. The 76ers will do battle with Oklahoma City Thunder. Minnesota Timberwolves will square up against the New Orleans Pelicans. Don't forget the Jazz play the Wizards. The Suns play the Bulls. The Trail Blazers will play against the Memphis Grizzlies, while we'll have the Sacramento Kings play the Cavaliers. And the big one for tomorrow night, 3 a.m. in the morning, if you may, would be the LA Lakers squaring up against the Denver Nuggets. And hopefully LeBron James will be back for the LA Lakers alongside Austin Reeves and the man Luka Doncic.
When I hear that setup, that trio, it's
I don't
scary.
know. Do you have a special love for Luka Doncic?
You know I love it. You know why? He's a Maverick. He's still a Maverick. But let me tell you something about tennis right now. Where the Players Union, co-founded by Novak Djokovic, has begun legal actions against tennis governing body, citing anti-competitive practices and blatant disregard to players' welfare. The Professional Tennis Players Association, PTPA, has filed papers at the United States District Court in New York, where it is seeking a jury trial. But we have to go on the break right now.
Yeah, let's go on a short breather on the show. When we come back, it's all about rugby here on Super 92.7 FM Lagos. Stay with us.
One Radio, Super 92.7 FM. Radio, Super 92.7 FM.
Welcome back. One Radio. Here on Super 92.7 FM, Lagos. Sir Alex alongside Usinachi, bringing you the latest in the world of sport. But we're switching gears now because we have something special for you. The player who has done really well, she has transitioned from playing football to playing rugby, to playing flag football. I haven't heard she played basketball at some point. But we have in the studio this wonderful morning Rachel Elia, professional rugby player, fitness trainer, flag football player, and a soccer player. I need to add that there. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here.
All right, good to have you on the show. And you're catching a very bright smile. It has to be said.
I like it.
Fantastic. Well, we met up last week before we set up this in Sunday, which was impressive.
Thank
but
you.
I want to know how you transitioned from rugby to flag football.
Oh, okay. It's a life,
Yeah.
and I was the only girl in my family that I was interested in sports. So it started grooming me up from when I was very young. And growing up, I got so involved. As a footballer, you should know you have to, be physically fit, and you have to, do strength training and all of that. So it wasn't so hard for me to transition, and it wasn't so hard for me to adapt. It's just something I had passion for, and then I made it a lifestyle, and then it's...
All right, that's fantastic. When did the love for rugby start? Because it's not so popular in Nigeria.
Yes.
We should say that. But
Facts.
when did the love start for you?
Oh, the love started last year. I think last year, August.
Yeah.
August, yeah. Because my president, his name is Abiodun Olawale Cole.
All right.
He has been pushing me, to come play rugby. He started with the beach rugby. We normally have this annual beach rugby event, always hosted by Nigerian Rugby League.
Yeah.
And I think I went to like 2 or 3 of the events, and I love how they played, but it wasn't just for me. I always tell him it wasn't for me because I know I'm athletic and I like competition, but the kind of contact that has to do with rugby is something that can send you to
to the hospital bed. Yeah.
So I wasn't so interested, and but in August he called and said, "Oh, we have a friendly game, and you have to, come out and just ball, just try and see." I'm like, "Okay, fine, no problem, I'll come." And then I came on a fateful Saturday. I came. Yeah. That was my first game ever. When I got there, the captain of the team was like, "Oh, Rachel, what you have to do when you get the ball, just run because you're fast. Just run." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So whenever I get the ball, I run the ball, and then I score a try. so it was from there I fell in love with the sport, and since then I'm here.
You've been balling. Okay,
Yep.
Since then you've been a professional rugby player. But I want to ask you because, like you said, you fell in love with the sport last year, August, and you tried it for the first time and you just fell in love with it. But let's talk about the state of this game, rugby, in Nigeria. Are you impressed with what you've seen so far over the 1 year you've spent playing rugby?
So far, yes, I'm impressed with the management, like the Nigerian Rugby League management. I'm impressed so far with what they have been doing, how they started it, and how they are trying to push it to the global map. It's done without, currently, we don't have the government involved, so it's like a private entity.
League.
Exactly. But we are representing Nigeria. Yes. So they have been doing a fantastic work, bringing players, grooming players, going around states in the country to organize leagues, and then bringing the team back to play a competition like a final, where we have a champion, like a Nigerian champion league crown, and all of that. And they also have been trying to push the league by bringing in international coaches to come and coach players to be coaches themselves. So as a player, currently I did my coaching course in February. So I can coach and also can coach a player.
Oh, you can coach rugby?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm still getting there, but I'm just in level 1 yet, so I'm not getting there yet.
Yeah.
So, and also another player that can get coached and then coach other younger players. So it's like that. It's trying to like bring generations of players and also coaches.
All right, that's fantastic.
Talking about coaching right now, that just took me back to what you said initially. The fact that you played soccer growing up, you played everything basically. Well, you chose rugby. What prompted you? Because normally, if you see the young girls in Nigeria, most of them want to play
basketball,
football. They want to run on the tracks, athletics, and everything. What prompted you to really tilt towards rugby? And what would you do to the girls that you coach right now? What would you tell them to make them want to play rugby in the future?
Okay, I would say just look for something that works for you and look at the better side of it, and then just go for it. Soccer have been my life. Even when I told my dad I want to transition from soccer to being a football referee, it stopped me from going to the field.
Seriously.
Like, I wanted to play soccer, not be a referee. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So it was, I had this bright vision for soccer.
Yeah.
But so many times I tried to get there, it just kept coming down. That's when I know it's not for me.
Just not
Okay.
it.
It's not for me.
Okay, but I hear Nigeria currently 17th in the world, in the
Yes.
rugby world. How did you get there? And how do you see Nigeria in the next 5 years in rugby? Or where do you see them?
It was a collective effort from every team player. Even got into when we got 17th, or before we got 17th, I wasn't on the team yet.
Yeah.
So our girls played Ghana several times and they whooped them. Yeah. So it's I would say we have this vision in Nigeria, not just to play rugby, but also to like take Africa on that map.
Yep.
And so far the girls have been doing it. Even after I joined, we played Kenya. Our defeats, when we defeated Kenya, we climbed to 17th in the world and also number 1 in Africa.
Well, you scored a try, right?
Yeah.
Yes, got to try.
Yeah, you got
It's
to
not-
try it. Yeah. I was about to talk about that. How did you feel scoring those 2 tries for the national team?
I would say it was a accumulation of teamwork and hard work. Everybody contributed to that try. I didn't just score it myself because that was like my first international game. My first international game and a pro game for that matter.
Yeah.
So I was nervous at first, and we saw the girls. They were very big and
Very big.
intimidating.
Yeah.
And you know what they say about Kenyans? They are fast. But
Very fast. Very. Yeah,
we
beautifully
didn't know
fast.
we even have the juice. It's like we were so fast that day. Our girls played exceptionally well. We played so well. We played according to our game plan, and we had our good coaches on the sideline, giving us, what to do and all of that. We played them well, and that victory was actually worth it. It was well deserved for us.
Fantastic one. I like how you answered the try question. I mean, some people would have come here and said, "Oh, I'm the one. I did everything," and blah blah blah. But you contributed that to the team, which means you have that level-headedness when it comes to playing the sport.
Yeah,
but let's talk about quickly before we wrap up. Let's talk about flag football and rugby. I want to ask you which one you enjoy playing the most. I know your answer already, but I just want to know. You already
if you had
catching
asked me this question 2 years ago, I said flag football, but now
Wow.
it's rugby.
Rugby, okay.
Please, rugby.
Yeah, all right.
Give me rugby.
All right,
Okay.
rugby.
Quick one before we actually go. I hear you're a Manchester United fan.
Yeah, for life since 2026.
There are no more friends.
Oh, really?
Officially.
You sound like an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, he's an Arsenal fan.
Why does he have a Liverpool cap? Oh,
No,
it's not.
Arsenal. These guys have never won
wear
any UEFA in their life.
Yeah.
You're always chasing, always getting to,
We have to go. We're out of time already.
Oh no! Oh, now you want to go?
my-
All right. So let's quickly talk about Manchester United because, like I said, your fitness coach, you're a trainer. You do lots of things outside rugby. You also play flag football, and you love football too. For Manchester United, what's the one existing problem about your team?
I would say is I won't say Amorim because he's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And he's a new coach, so we don't expect him to come and perform wonders.
Yeah.
But I think his tactics are not working, and he needs help, but he doesn't want to ask for help.
All right.
And that's pride. So he has to drop it off and then get off his high horse and do what he has to do.
All right, fantastic. Well, we've had Rachel Elia here, professional rugby player for the Nigerian team, flag football player, trainer, fitness coach. I can go on and on and on. Well, that's how far we can go on the show this wonderful morning. We'll be back with sports this wonderful evening on Super 92.7